Welcome to the All the Hats We Wear podcast. This is episode 72, and it is called Have a Pure Heart so you can be productive and aligned with your purpose. This idea of operating from a pure heart is taken from an interview I saw with a basketball star of the Toronto Raptors, Fred VanVleet. And he had, a crazy game, like 50 points or something that he scored. So afterwards, they were asking him, how he did it. And he was saying his performance level was just from playing with a pure heart and being open and like just being free with your movement, totally being of service of the team at all times and being selfless. And I thought that was so powerful. Also, I've tried taking this approach with some of as much of my social media output as I can, and just not getting caught in that self doubt. And it's so powerful. Give it a try. Even with reaching out to mentors, I've reached out to a bunch of different people to get advice and to have, a meeting and pick their brains, and just having that attitude of just you're in the right and you're doing it for the right purpose. And you can't go wrong when you do that, when you have that approach. Also, with sharing offers to prospects and clients and your tribe, as they say, that helps you sell better because you have that focus and you're coming from that good place of the pure heart. You can't go wrong. One guy who really comes from the heart and operates from a pure heart is this guy I follow on TikTok, he's a interesting character. He's a lot of fun. His username is Quincy LK on TikTok, and he is one of the most creative guys I've ever seen. He only has a tiny little set, like a little place in his house where it's set up like a tavern. So he's like the barkeep of this old tavern, like from, in Harry Potter land. So you come there and he makes you this fancy hot chocolate and he talks to you and he makes you feel welcome and he cooks food. He's really cool. So he really, really exemplifies that coming from a pure heart. Check him out. Story number 2 is about Mark Wahlburg. He has a special now. I don't know if you know, but it's a documentary about him as an entrepreneur. And he has like 8 businesses that he runs, and besides being a big movie star. So the documentary is called Wahl Street, WAHL. And there were a couple of things I really liked about it. One was a quote from one of his business advisors, Janice Bryant Howroyd. And she said that success is transferable, that you can take success from one area and relate it to a totally different area or industry and be successful there, as long as you honor what you don't know. And I thought that was so great. So that was Janice's quote. Damon John from Shark Tank was also on there giving advice. And he says that, you have to have a thick skin to be an entrepreneur, that entrepreneurs hear no all the time, all day long. And you've got to be stronger than that. And he said there's a lot of people that don't want you to succeed. So I thought that was interesting. And that you have to use all of those no's and the fact that a lot of people don't want you to succeed as fuel for you to be better and do even more. So the documentary has him bouncing all around the world, really, between filming for movies in London and, doing video conferencing for all his different businesses and ventures. And so let me see how many he has. 8 different ventures that he's got going on. Of course, Wahlburgers. That's his restaurant line with his brother. Closest to the Hole is a production company. He is also involved with Aqua Hydrate, some kind of fancy tech water. performance inspired. I think that's also some kind of a wellness thing. F45, which is a gym where it has a unique idea of having everybody work together. So you have, a 50-year-old woman working out, alongside with a 23-year-old kid. So everyone has different, size weights and equipment, but everyone is encouraging each other. Municipal, which I think is a clothing line, and the Mark Wahlburg Auto Group, and a company called Unrealistic Ideas. It's a production company. So pretty worth seeing. I think the first episode is out already, so you can check it out. Story number 3 is about my buddy Gary V, who I'm sure you've heard him, but if you haven't, you should check him out because he's a character. He was asked about what's the advantage of, he often talks about not giving a crap about anything or what other people say, that it doesn't concern him in the least. And he said the biggest benefit to that is speed. He says when you're able to not get dissuaded by others, you're in full execution mode, as much time as possible, if not all the time. And there was a similar lesson learned with a documentary called Crumb about the great 60s cartoonist Robert Crumb, R. Crumb. And he was talking about high school where he was a loser, nobody liked him, and he was trying so hard to fit in. And then once he just decided to not even try to fit in, that he said that was so liberating, that he was doing his best work. He was able to just not get drained by it all. Story number 4. This is what I call the folding towels technique of productivity and peak performance. The idea is that you fold towels in a way that you don't fret over which towel you're going to take, or like putting away silverware. Usually you just take the most logical one. You're not even thinking, you're just going and you get in the flow state. So try folding towels and do it completely opinion free. That's the big thing. Get rid of the constant nagging opinions that are dragging you down. And if you do find yourself having an opinion about which towel, start again. Then you can move up to doing that for a room, tidying up your office or a room, and get in that same mindset. No opinions needed, and just execution, getting that momentum. And then try it for getting work done for an hour. Very powerful. Story number 5 is about happiness. And this is a collection of research-based findings about happiness. That spending too much time on social media watching other people have fun can make you feel worse about yourself. They've done studies that tell us that we don't want to ignore negative emotion, that a key to happiness is dealing with the discomfort in a healthy way. Also, we found out that you want to notice the good stuff. We have what we call negativity bias, and that means that our brain is much more focused on the negative experiences than the positive. That's just how we're wired, I guess, for evolution. And one way to kind of combat that negativity bias is to journal and to improve your outlook on life by saying thanks for one thing each day. So focusing on those positives, recognizing them. Laughing with friends can be like medicine for decreasing stress. We know that you should set new goals, that we're happiest when we're pursuing meaningful, difficult, challenging goals. That's what Angela Duckworth, author of Grit, said. Also, we know that multitasking is very draining and also decreases your accuracy and your quality of work because you're constantly switching from all these different actions. And you'll feel good once you complete challenging actions. Always have challenging things on your plate. Story number 6 is called Creative Resilience Dialogues. And this is a twice a month workshop on Zoom from an art activist named Chelvanaya, wait, Chel, Chelvanaya Gabriel. So she has this program, this group that people get together, and she's all about the art. So she takes a lot of the negativity that we've experienced over the last year, and it's really tough to put into words. So she creates a space for people who feel overwhelmed. And this is at the Northampton Center of the Arts, nohoarts.org in Massachusetts, Northampton. And the focus is nonverbal expression and building community. She'll do an exercise like take 5 minutes to create an art piece with no words. And this really taps into the body and the whole self, not your intellect. And that's so powerful. And the intellect often causes distance between people and the constant talking. I do the same thing in music therapy. I get away from the words and right into the music. And you can work miracles in that way. Get people right in with one strum of the guitar. I can get the group to focus in. I remember in college, I was leading a group with my guitar for a music therapy group. And I was announcing to everybody, okay, now we're going to start with our hello song, everybody. We're going to welcome everybody with this song right now. And the teacher stopped me right away, the professor, and said, hey, you can just drop all of that talk and just play. So that I always remember that. So now when I have the group assembled, that's how I get everyone's attention, just by starting right in with the music. You can get right to the heart of the work much quicker without all that talk. Story number 7. A woman named Erin French owns a restaurant. It's a 40-seat restaurant. And she's so popular that she's fully booked a year ahead. She has to have a lottery of 20,000 people that she chooses from. And they're chosen from postcards. People mail in a postcard, and then she chooses just the amount that she can. She had a difficult upbringing with an abusive and alcoholic dad, and also abusive alcoholic husband, messy divorce. And then she started her restaurant as a rebuild, like a resetting, a revitalizing of her life. She first started it in a tiny rebuilt Airstream camper. And then it just became so popular. And she has a big cookbook also. Story number 8. Marylou Sudders is a Health and Human Services secretary, and she's the director of Massachusetts COVID-19 Response Command Center. And the article is all about how super organized she is, how hardworking, just how super effective she is. I found this to be pretty inspirational. When the Massachusetts COVID website crashed, she had to go immediately into operational fix-it mode, as she said. She's known for her steely determination, and she has the strength to question authority. And you better know the answers when she asks in meetings. She keeps the governors grounded. She's known to be a fastidious planner and tactician. Our final story is called The Power of Subtraction. And this is an article that was comparing Bruce Springsteen with Marie Kondo. And she's the woman who has the Magic of Tidying Up books, very popular. So the whole idea of this article is about the importance of subtracting. Instead of just always thinking you need to add to fix a problem, you can also subtract and have it even be more of an effective fix. This article focuses on Lydie Klotz, a professor, teaches business, engineering, and architecture. And this person is fascinated with the idea of less. And I honestly don't know if this is a male or female, but they're saying that they were with a 3-year-old and they were making a bridge out of Legos. So one of the towers was taller than the other, so the bridge wouldn't stay. So the professor was about to add some pieces to the shorter end, and the kid said, just make it shorter on this end. So that was the power of subtraction. So that really got that person really into that. And the epiphany that they made was that less is just an end state. Subtraction is the act of getting there. And most of the time, we want to add to solve the problems, not take away. And how Bruce Springsteen is involved here is he has an album called Darkness on the Edge of Town. And Bruce refers to this album as his samurai album. It's all stripped down for fighting. So there's nothing extra with that album. The book that this professor wrote, Leidy Klotz, is Subtract, the Untapped Science of Less. That sounds awesome. We're hardwired to add. We share animal instincts to accumulate. And as the, let's see, this person has a great quote about it. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. And the quote is, a designer knows he or she has achieved perfection, not when there is nothing left to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. Pretty cool. Well, we talked a bit about coming from a pure heart and how once we do that, it really takes care of a lot of stuff. And I encourage you to find a way to act from a pure heart right from the beginning of the morning. And let me know how it goes. If you want more information on life coaching and productivity coaching, all that I offer, check out the website, allthehatswewear.com. And you can also set up a free consult call with me. And also we have a free 1-hour, 5-module course on the website, on the homepage. So you want to check that out. That has sections on project management and unleashing your creativity, having a system for managing your busy life in a way that you can be more joyful, productive, and fulfilled. Also, the focus of the whole course is identifying all the hats we wear. So that's so important. And that's what I call the most powerful time management skill you can ever learn, is identifying all these hats we wear and then having a system for managing them. Just like a musician or a musical band has their set list of songs, you're going to have a set list of your roles. Some of them are tried and true classics, and some of them are new. You're going to be having to put some place card holders in for those roles that you're bridging into. So it's really powerful identifying all of your roles. Most of us juggle between 15 to 20 different roles. So we really need to focus on where we're spending our time. So until next time, we'll see you again. All the hats we wear. Thank you.